I'm Dr. Juliana. I'm a marriage and family therapist and licensed professional counselor. Man Made is a series looking into the journey of becoming a man, and not just any man, a good man. It is not a benign endeavor to seek these two questions. What does it mean to be a good man? And what are the pathways in becoming one? In this series, I'm talking with men from all walks of life, professions, locations, ages, races, and political and spiritual beliefs. I asked these men to represent his own experience and beliefs within his journey of becoming a good man and his thoughts on what is needed to create and support good men in our current environment. My hope is that collectively, these good men's stories form a powerful and private understanding of what it is like to be a good man in this day and age. Welcome to Man Made, my conversations with good men. Hi, this is Dr. Juliana, and thank you for joining me in this series, talking with awesome guys. And I am so excited to speak today to Kenny. Hi, Kenny.
How you doing?
Great. It is
Good,
so
good.
good to see you. I was over the moon when I saw your interest in doing this series. It was just thrilling. I had my fingers crossed the whole time, and I'm really thrilled to have this time with you today.
Appreciate it.
So you and I met. Do you remember how long ago it was?
Yeah, probably 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was trying to think
Actually,
about
I think Jack was sophomore still.
sophomore. Okay, I
Uh,
wasn't sure if he was
Freshman.
in middle school or if he started high school.
He
Uh,
was getting ready to leave middle school to go into high school. He
yes.
came out his first year playing football out to see him practice.
Yeah, you all did. That was so
Yeah.
great. So sweet of you all. So Jack is my son, for those who don't know, and Kenny and I met at a workout facility in Virginia. He comes to us from Virginia, and we, I don't know, Kenny just won my heart with his spirit. And just such a good man, and has that way of him and a way of you. And you just were so dear to my son, and with everyone that I ever saw you interact with. It certainly caught my heart how kind you were and supportive you were of my son, and how fun you were, and inspired me also to get my butt in gear and get rolling on things. I just always look forward to seeing you and getting a high five from you. But anyway, so welcome today, Kenny.
Thank you.
So let's dive into it. Can you tell us a bit about you? Like, just kind of introduction of who you are.
Well, of course, I'm Kenny. I'm a conditioning coach out here in Virginia. I've been working in the workout field for numerous of years, up to the last 4, 5 to 6 years. I started getting more into dealing with a lot of kid athletes, more because of seeing how the world is transforming into so much negativity and everything. It's hard to get it, at that time it was hard for me to get a kid to try to listen to me on give them some different tips on the importance of life, opposed to, man, I don't got time to listen. So it's like, all right, how do I get to these kids? Okay, they like to play sports. They like to get better. So I took it as became a conditioning coach to be able to mentor kids through their sports.
Yeah.
So once I tapped in it like that, it was like, all right, I got it from here.
Yes.
So it's been great. Still busy, still rolling, a lot stronger. Been on my own for the last 2 years doing it. So just having a ball and having a great time and seeing a lot of the kids excel. A lot of my kids go off to colleges, and everything else. So try to get them, teach them a lot that I didn't live up to what was trying to get taught to me at that particular time. So.
Mm-hmm. And you have kids?
Yes, 4 daughters.
Yeah, 4 daughters. I love it.
4 daughters, 3 grandkids.
Oh, right. Oh, 3 grandkids now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Thank
Oh,
you.
wow. So talk to me about your journey of becoming a man. What are some like pivotal or life-changing moments for you?
Well, Mine is probably 100% totally different from the average person that you interview. I had a lot of, had my father in life, had a lot of different figures, so forth. But I was, for some reason, a hardhead. So me trying to understand what they was trying to teach me about how to be a man wasn't registering. I felt that, okay, you can't tell me. I figured it out myself. So, I went through a lot of different hardships, even wind up as far as getting incarcerated in the whole time. Once I got incarcerated, that's when I redefined it, who I was, and was able to learn how to be a man, and then go back and to look at all the teachings that a lot of them gave me, and to, okay, this is what a man is supposed to be like. So it allows me to navigate it myself. Okay, this is what a man's supposed to be. This is how the characteristics of us. Sometimes we veer off from being that man, but in the same time we try to uphold. So I learned a lot from them that helped me mold and create into being a man. And then a lot others from that, it was more of self-discovery, because anybody can tell you about being a man, or give you the definition of a man, tell you this is what a man should do and this, that, and third, but you won't have a grasp that concept of being a man until you go through self-discovery of how to be a man. So,
and the so we'll go back to incarceration. So how old were you when that happened?
oh, I think I was 20.
20. Okay.
20.
So what do you think?
Previous,
Oh, sorry.
sorry about it. Previous before that, I've been going in trouble with the court system, but to get the first incarceration, yes, 20.
So when you said that you had role models or you had people in your life, were they men and women who were giving you these life lessons, or was it mainly men?
Mainly some of the men, majority of the women. My mom, is a big family, so it's probably 5 brothers out of 7 sisters. So, of course, I got the uncles that, hey, boy, this was all about. So, very little, mentorship from the male point of view, because the males that I was looking up to were, hey, man, I want to be like him. I want 1 or 2, 3 women, so that's how that transpired.
And then at 20, when you had this big life event, what do you think it was about you that made that feel like a turning point instead of just another thing that had happened?
It gave me a chance to understand and get to know who I am first. I had so many distractions around course, and it was always hard to pay attention to me because I'm always doing outside of me. So incarceration basically gave me a foundation, a platform to kick back, to really get to know who I was. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? What do I like? What makes me happy? I had someone ask me that while I was incarcerated. Now, I probably did more. And he was like, young brother, you need to figure out first who you are before you become anything else. So and that's where that turning point start. Okay, what do I like to do? What makes me happy? What's make me angry? What are the different characteristics that I have in myself? Then once I was able to see that, then the growth of becoming a man started appearing from that angle.
I think it's so powerful. And you are not the first guy that has said to me that that it was a pivotal moment when someone said, "What makes you happy?"
Right.
And like it was like, gosh, I've never been asked that. I've never asked myself that. I don't know. And how that was just like that can't be. Like I do need to know. Like this will make a difference in my life. Not just the happy, but as you said, like those questions are really asking you to figure out who you are.
Exactly. And if you don't, there's no way, if you don't know who you are, there's no way you can become anything. I don't care what it be. You have to know self in order to produce, as far as execute who you are. If you don't know self, who else you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that allows me to create, my foundation to, okay, now let's go ahead and grow into a man and start doing what needs to be done.
So when you started training others, have you had any moments or people in that process of you becoming a mentor and a teacher, or from your mentees, that had an impact in what you thought a man was or who you are as a man?
Oh yes. Actually, that's when the bigger growth started coming also too, because I've met a lot of people, of course, in the field, in the industry. I was connected with a lot of guys, women, as far as trainers, friendships, and all of that. And I think I had one or two that always stood out, to me, as far as impact on become a better man than I was, and just seeing how their life was, seeing, the hustle and bustle and grind like we do daily. But after my daily was going to this, their daily was more going to, hey, honey, I'm home. How's everything? More into a state of peace, where mine was going to the state of, all right, what's to do next? So they gave me a bigger impact and show me a different lifestyle that I wasn't seeing as far as becoming a man, and then that's when it was like, okay, there's a lot more out here to becoming a man, just from what I've been dealing with and what I absorbed so far. So now it allowed me to grow even from that point up to now, and even from the past events up to now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, what about becoming a father? Did that have an impact or?
Father come from that family, man. We got a big family, crazy big family. Family is, we from the country. Yeah, it's when I grew up, it was those big long duplexes. I had one sided family on this side and my other dad side on that side, and it was seeing me, so they, taught us, how to be a father off the top. Our grandmother brought it down to my mother, and they taught us the same thing. And despite everything that went on in my life, I was still that number one father. It was always them first. Yeah, even during my selfishness, I still made sure they're my number one. So,
What does masculinity mean to you?
masculinity,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I never really thought of it. So I choose not to use a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, tell me
I
about that
use,
then.
to me, I base masculinity is to a person aroma. That's the best I can give it to.
A person
What
what?
I feel. Aroma.
Aroma. Okay. Huh. Cool. Okay, so tell
Right.
me, tell me when you said I try not to base it on that. Like, tell me what bothers you or makes you feel like the word masculinity isn't good.
Uh, Usually people, to me, like if I hear that term, it's more of the use of dominance,
Yeah. Hmm.
and I'm me, so it's nothing dominant about it. So I don't like to entitle myself as, hey, you're masculine. No, theirs is, no, me. So that when I hear that word, or I always associate it with that.
Yeah.
So it allows me to like, nah, I don't want that attribute.
Hmm. What are the what are the good parts about being a man in this day and age?
Yes. To be honest with you, I think it's more of being happy with yourself, you know, because defining a man is dealing with responsibilities, you know, learning how to correct problems and mistakes, not keep making the same.
Mhm.
So it's like I can have this person over here that's, hey, 20 years younger than me, but he's a man. And I got this guy here that's 60 years old. He's just a male, you know. It's
Mm.
it's that big difference, when it get to male and man, you know.
Yeah.
Males is, hey, that's what we're born with, those parts are male, but a man, it's that responsibility, that person able to provide and produces, accepts his wrongs when he's wrong, admits, and just, of course we human, but in order to be that man, that's what we gotta display with it. So that's my understanding for myself. on that.
And so if it, like, when I talked to you about what I was interviewing and why I was interviewing people and why I wanted to interview you, and I said the term good man, what did that feel like, and what was your reaction to good man?
I feel good because I am a good man, you know. I am a good man that, you know, strives to provide, you know, we all deal with life situations, you know, understandings, miscommunications, you know, the whole nine that come with it, you know. That man got to be that one to be able to take a mess and make it into something that's beautiful again. You know,
Hmm.
yes, we have problems in our relationships. Okay, I'm a man. I need to take care of my responsibility. And sweetheart, I apologize. I am wrong. This, then, a third. Now I got to make that into, let's get it back beautiful. So,
Yeah. That's good. And is there a difference between being a good man and a good human?
yes, it's, to me, I don't really see any difference behind that. You know, if you define good human, you're going to basically give you the same attributes as you give a good man,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like how you separate that, you know? In order to become a good man, you got to become a good human first,
Hmm.
you know? And once you become a good human, then the good man attributes will naturally fall in place with that. You know, it's those steps. You can't have, hey, the good man to a good human, that's like walking around with our left foot on our right foot. No, it don't balance that way. You know, you got to be able to be a good human. That's that person first. You know, once you get all that, that's that know ourself process. And then once you become a good human, then you become a good man. It naturally happens. And you sometimes you be like, oh man, you know, oh man, I'm getting better. I handle the responsibility, not thinking about it. Yes, because now it's in flow. It's in motion. It's not you thinking about being a man. Is actually executing in his own process.
Yeah. Hmm. All right, I'm going to say a couple words and just tell me how you react to them.
All right.
Vulnerability.
Not me. I don't vulnerability is a big thing, can be good or bad, you know, and we all have our vulnerable moments, this, then, a third, but it's like, what do you take back from that? You know,
Hmm.
everything to me has an end result, you
Hmm.
know, so you can be vulnerable, but I'd rather make that a good vulnerability than like this.
Hmm. So you said your first thing was not me,
Yeah,
and but then you talk about the good vulnerability part of it,
yeah,
right? And I do think there's so much stuff related to vulnerability and men and
exactly.
all of that
Right.
we've got to sort through and figure out too.
Right. And that way you will understand yourself a little bit more. Because if you look at it, you only know this few, and these are the negative attributes of it,
Yeah.
but you're forgetting about all that good, you know?
Mhm. Another word, provider.
Yes. Uh, provider is us, you know, I look at provider now as anybody who's going to provide and make sure that who or what they are providing for is 100% full of love, full of passion, full of compassion to go with
Mm. Ooh, that's one of my favorite answers. That is,
it.
I love that you didn't even really mention money as a part of it. I love that. Love that.
That's
That's,
why our world is so decayed like it is.
I mean, honestly,
Yes.
that's just beautiful, Kenny. Thank you for that.
Right. And, you know, and that's, you know, like I tell people that come into my facility, it's like, hey, man, I like your prices. Man, my goal is this. My heart is first. My pocket is behind me. Let
Mm.
me help you. Then that's going to come. I'm going to get my riches. I don't need to get rich off of you, brother. I need to help you. So I'd rather put my heart there, my passion and compassion with it than pockets. What I'm going to do for you if I'm charging you $500? See you today and not see you no more, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Good. That's great. Love.
Love. Love is love is great. The thing is, to me, my understanding is we have the tendency to exploit love, just love. You know, love have a to me is a deeper meaning, a deeper impact. You know, strong emotional feeling for something or someone. Everybody use the love is just like a tangible thing, like a piece of gum. Hey, love. Where it has a lot more deeper meaning to that. And I think once people grasp that concept and understanding of what love truly means, then it's okay to love and mess up and still correct that mistake and get back to where life need to be persistent itself.
Mm-hmm.
I can love anything as far as, it's like when you hear the word love or people use the word love, you'll know the difference into that love to the definition that they're giving. Oh, I love that. Hey, I love what I do. You're going to hear the different tone and expression in it. So that gives you that difference in just that little love for that, but here's that deep, strong emotional attachment love right there.
Mm. Mm. And it's good. So what do you think the world needs to know about young men?
Young men all over, everyone, needs a chance to grow. A lot of the problem to me is we don't give these kids a chance. I have a thing even when I tell everybody out here, give these kids a fighting chance. Stop judging them. They're going to do wrong. We know that. We did wrong. How do you get better? By going through those mistakes. We got to teach them how to correct, not just keep erasing that mistake and making it over and over. Let's teach them how to correct these mistakes. Let's get to know them. I can have a kid that he likes to play video games. Okay, I'm not going to chastise him. Hey, buddy, why, man, stay off that game. No, I'm going to sit down with him and play that video game because now I can get to him and talk to him. Now we can build off of that. Hey, it's okay to play that video game, but let's go be the responsible way. Let's take a time out to play here. Let's go ahead and put that up. Then you got other stuff to do because when becoming that man, you want to deal with all your responsibilities. So you want to be able to provide and take care of this, make sure this is squared away, So a lot of people, you just like take time out and listen to them, Don't tell them no. Don't tell them you're doing wrong. Don't tell them. They hear that all the time. The problem with a lot of the kids, they shelter in. So when they're reaching out for a difference in a wrong way and all the negativity, now we got our chest up like, hey, I knew he was there. Well, you pushed them to that too. Look at how your approach was to him. Kids nowadays, they have so much on the defensive, and that's why I use, hey, man, I know. I done been there and done that, bro. Look at here. We're not going to look at what you done did wrong. Look at here. We're going to do this the manly way. Let's figure out our problem. What can you do to correct it? And now what you're going to do to be better. That's the proper way to do that. But if we don't take time out to listen to these kids and always, you're wrong, it's my way. Come on, they're the same as us. So it's like, give them a fighting chance to become a kid. Let them make their mistakes. Show them how to correct that. Boss keep pointing, you're doing wrong, and you better not come home. No, stop that, better not. Get it out the dictionary. So that's my understanding and the impact that I use with my kids. And I have nothing but $2 million, 2,000,000% success rate with it. I go to these kids' events, go to their graduations and all of that, so it's that impact. So it's like, hey, I'm not just telling you something, I'm showing you also. That's why I'm giving you, that's why I have a greater impact on you. That's why I tell people, if you're telling the kid something and showing them, then you're going to see the impact of them. But if you're just telling the kid and you're not showing them, you won't see an impact.
Having what you just said, I can say, I saw in action tenfold. I witnessed you doing this, not only to my son and my family, but to so many. And you have such a gift of having people feel seen and wanted and appreciated. And there's just such a ripple effect. Like even just listening to you talk about that, like I know you modeled parenting to people and then also just gave that gift to kids of like, it's okay to have been here. All right, fine. Right. Let's move here. This is not this huge character thing. This is a situation and you can rectify it without judgment. And I mean, I know even like in my son's life, who came in such a pivotal time in his life, and showing up for that one game was, I mean, he was stunned.
Yeah,
And,
he couldn't tell him that. He thought he was the man. He felt like he won the Heisman Trophy. He was like this that day.
He was. And it was truly because you made the effort to be there. You showed him he mattered. And that what he was doing mattered, and you do that for so many people I know, and I hope so much you get that in return too, and have gotten that. So what do you think helps, like in either individual relationships, like a romantic relationship, or in a family, that a partner can do to help support a good man, stay a good man, be cherished for being a quote good man?
Communication. Communication to me is the biggest thing. I done went through a lot like that, a lot of miscommunication, and don't want to communicate and assume that they should know, and when they don't know, on the way they should know is by us expressing to them. A lot of communication, a lot of being able to, be transferable as far as, okay, he likes to do this, I'm gonna do like what he likes to do. Okay, she likes to do this, I'm gonna do it, because you're not gonna always have that same. It's always gonna be that opposite. So you have to learn to be able to adapt to the things he likes doing, or the situation, or adapt to the things that she likes doing also. So I think it's definitely a lot of communication, and not being able to be afraid to talk to one another. We get caught up in, I did it too. We get caught up in assumptions of assuming, nah, because if I come like this, then it'll be like that, and the whole time it's like, look, I just needed to know that, okay, we can get past that, so that's what I feel, just from me with my past in it also.
It also kind of brings me back to what you were saying earlier about knowing yourself, that to really be able to communicate well and honestly, you have to really know who you are, and be able to say that clearly, as well as wanting to know who the other person is.
Correct.
Okay, so as we wrap up, and I have two last questions for you. How much time do you spend thinking about your 80-year-old self?
Say it again.
How often, or how much time do you spend thinking about who you're going to be, the man you are at 80?
A lot. One thing I've always learned, which I never did, was to take time out for myself, because I was dealing with everything else, everybody else, in the gym, 10, 12 hours a day, get home, dealing with everything else. So, and it just became repetition, and then you lose sight of who you are, first. So it's like, always try to take time out for myself to, okay, how did my day go? What current events happened during the week that could have hindered me from moving forward, and what could I do to not make it? If I don't look back, I won't be able to see where I'm going. So I have to reflect to see, man, I made a mistake there. Okay, sharpen up, make sure I don't make that mistake. So my future could continue to grow, because I want to constantly continue to grow to be a better person, constantly continue to grow to be a better man, a father, a good provider, and the whole, nine. But I have to constantly always take time out for myself to, okay, where I want to be at next year. I want to be a better person than I was. Oh, I want to be a more outspoken person. Oh, I want to be a more responsible person. So I'm going to always continue to grow. And when I hit the 80, then I'm going to go past that, so.
Mm-hmm. And my last question is, if you and I were sitting down in you're 80, and we go back and look at this video, what do you want your 80-year-old self to think of this man today?
Like, damn, boy, you did good. You came a long way, and you're still going, and look at the man you are today. You never stop giving up. Even though you went through some complications, some starts, you never let that start become a setback. And look at you today.
Mm.
That'll be mine.
That's
It'll definitely be mine right there.
Oh, that's so wonderful, Kenny. Thank you so much for your
Yes,
time
ma'am.
and your thoughts. Thank you for being a good man.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a blessed one.
Thank you too. And thank you all for listening to another Dr. Juliana. Thank you for listening to Man Made Conversations with Good Men. If you are interested by what you heard, please press the like button and comment in my YouTube channel and subscribe to the series. We'd also love for you to comment and share on social media platforms. If you know a good man or are a good man, contact me at drjulianamorris@gmail.com. It's DRJULIANAMORRIS@gmail.com, or let me know of your recommendation in the comment sections. Thank you for joining the Conversations with Good Men, Man Made.